You ever have those mornings where you walk into the shop and it feels like the future just tripped over your doorstep? I'm looking at this 3D printer right now. It's moving so fast, I'm worried it's going to achieve orbit before it finishes this bracket.
Well, as long as it doesn't take the roof with it. You finally moved past that old man yells at cloud phase with the plastic squirt boxes, Tiger?
Listen, I was a skeptic. I like things that spark or bleed, but I spent yesterday afternoon messing with some of this new high-speed TPU. That's the flexible stuff for the uninitiated, and it's a whole different world. I remember back in the ancient days of 2023, trying to print flexible gaskets felt like trying to push a wet noodle through a keyhole. You had to slow the machine down so much you could have hand-carved the part out of a tire faster.
And now, given that you're actually excited, I'm assuming you didn't end up with a giant bird's nest of translucent spaghetti this time?
Not even a strand. I was running this Overture high-speed stuff at speeds that would have melted my old machines. It's the chemistry, Alex. They've tweaked the melt flow so it doesn't bunch up the moment the extruder looks at it funny. And the PETG? Man, I used to treat PETG like a temperamental cat. If the humidity was off by 1%, or your retraction settings weren't whispered in the right lunar phase, you'd get these hairy, stringy messes everywhere.
I remember. You once told me a PETG print looked like a spider had a nervous breakdown on your build plate.
It did. It was structural cobwebs. But the new high-speed variants are legitimately crisp. And the big one, the one that really tickled my brain this morning, is this Prusa Color Mix Beta.
Okay, explain that to me. Because I saw the headline and thought it was some kind of magic trick. You're telling me you can get dozens of colors without actually changing the rolls?
It's an optical illusion, but a brilliant one. It's called dithering. Think back to those old comic books where, if you look close, the skin tone was just tiny red dots on white paper. The slicer is layering the filaments in these microscopic patterns so your eyes blend them together. You want a lime green, but only have yellow and blue? It shakes them together in a way that, from a foot away, looks like a custom blend. It's like being a painter without having to wash a single brush.
Speaking of brushes, let's talk about the bigger picture. Because it's not just the hobbyist stuff that's pivoting. I was looking at the new labor reports this morning from Construction Dive, and the numbers are, honestly, they're staggering.
You mean the pay jump?
Exactly. A 30% bump in skilled trade compensation. That's not a cost of living adjustment. That's a tectonic shift. It feels like the world finally realized that you can't download a new plumbing system or AI generate a stable foundation for a house.
It's about time. For 30 years, we told every kid with a pulse that if they didn't get a 4-year degree in something vaguely theoretical, they were destined to scrub floors. We treated the trades like a consolation prize for people who couldn't make it in an office. Now look at us. We have a shortage of electricians so deep, it's slowing down the entire power grid. And those kids who went to trade school are buying houses while their peers are still staring at a mountain of student debt and wondering if their marketing degree is going to be replaced by a chatbot next Tuesday.
Tell us how you really feel, Tiger. But you're right. The dirty job stigma is dying because the paycheck is starting to look awfully clean. But it's not just about swinging a hammer anymore, is it? You were mentioning the off-site shift earlier.
That's where the real money is hiding. Modular and prefab construction. It used to be that prefab was a dirty word. You thought of cheap, flimsy trailers. Not anymore. We're talking high-end, precision-engineered components built in a climate-controlled factory and then snapped together on-site like a giant Lego set for billionaires. If you're a carpenter or a tech who understands how to bridge that gap, taking the precision of shop work and applying it to the chaos of a job site, you're basically a unicorn. You can write your own ticket.
It's the maker mentality applied at a commercial scale, which actually is a perfect segue. Because if you're one of those people who wants to stay in your own shop and build a brand, the rules of the game just changed again.
The ever-shifting sands of the Instagram algorithm. Every time I think I've figured out how to share a photo of a dovetail without the internet hiding it in a dark basement, they move the goalposts.
Well, the 2026 update is particularly brutal if you've been ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting? Explain that to a man who still appreciates a good rotary phone.
Basically, the algorithm is punishing hollow accounts. If you have 50,000 followers because you bought them in 2019 or you joined a follow loop, but only 5 people are actually liking your posts, Instagram assumes your content is garbage and stops showing it to everyone, even the people who actually want to see it. It's about the follower to engagement gap.
So it's better to have 100 followers who actually give a hoot than 10,000 who are just staring blankly.
Exactly. It's micro engagement. I know you hate the term tiger, but it just means being a human being. Reply to the comments. Ask people what they're working on in your stories. It's like the difference between shouting into a megaphone at a crowded mall and having a beer with 10 friends in the garage. The algorithm wants the garage vibes.
That I can get behind. I've always said, well, it's always felt to me like the best part of this maker mogul stuff isn't the mogul part, it's the community. I'd rather talk shop with 3 guys who actually know what a radial arm saw is than get 1,000 great posts, comments from bots in a server farm.
And the data backs you up. If you're spending money on ads to sell your stuff, don't just boost a post for likes. It's a vanity metric. You have to target the people who've actually walked through your virtual door, the ones who visited the shop. Stick to the people who are already interested in the craft.
Speaking of being interested in the craft, it's Friday, and my favorite part of the digest this week is the furniture from firewood bit.
I saw that. $5,000 from a log? That sounds like a bit of a tall tale, Tiger. Is this one of those I once caught a fish this big moments?
No, I promise, it's legit. But there's a catch. You have to see the beauty in the stuff everyone else is throwing away. I was out back at my neighbor's place last month. He had this old, gnarled oak log he was about to split for his wood stove. It was full of checks and rot, looked like a total mess. But I saw a streak of figure in there that looked like a thunderstorm.
And I'm guessing you didn't let him burn it.
Not a chance. I traded him a 6-pack for it and dragged it into the shop. Once you slab that out, stabilize the ugly parts with a bit of deep pour epoxy, maybe charcoal or smoke color to keep it classy, and run it through a planer. Suddenly that trash has a soul. You're not just selling a table, you're selling a story about a tree that got a second life. People pay a premium for that narrative.
It's the ultimate entry-level project, too. Making a cutting board out of offcuts or rescued wood teaches you everything. Grain direction, moisture content, food-safe finishes. It's the wax-on, wax-off of woodworking.
It really is. And for the folks working in a 1-car garage with a tricycle and a lawnmower fighting for space, get a mobile stand for your saw. I just put the 2026 model together with the 1-tap height adjustment. My old back thanked me immediately. There's no dignity in humping a 60-pound table saw onto a pair of shaky sawhorses every time you want to make a rip cut.
I think no dignity in humping a table saw might be the most Tiger quote of the year.
Better that than no fingers left after the saw tipped over.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from 3D printing speed records to the massive paychecks in the trades, down to the pixels on a screen and the sawdust on the floor.
It all points to the same thing, though. The world is getting faster and more digital, but the things that actually matter, the things that ground us, are the things we make with our hands. Whether you're using a high-speed extruder or a hand plane from 1920, you're taking control of your corner of the world.
So what's the one thing people should take into their weekend?
Don't wait for the perfect piece of wood or the perfect machine. Some of the best things I've ever built came out of a mistake or a piece of scrap that was headed for the bin. Just go make something, fail at it, learn why it failed, and then do it again. That's how you build a life, not just a bookshelf.
Well said. That's it for the TigerDen Daily. Now get out of your head and into the shop.
Stay hungry, stay curious. We'll see you at the bench.